Wow, 49ers fans, what can I tell you? This is an evening of football that will not be forgotten. This is an evening of football that will be discussed on every single show, coast to coast tomorrow. And among the most dominant statements of the entire Kyle Shanahan era, a clinic put on against a Dallas Cowboy team that coming into tonight's game had given up 41 points all season. Tonight, they've given up 42, and we are just after the 2-minute warning. We're coming out of that in just a little bit. Welcome to Postgame and Damon. Welcome to the Plus. My goodness, what a night for the 49ers. We got backup quarterbacks in here in this game. The crowd was even chanting for Trey Lance, but obviously he's on that other sideline now. And the reason why he is because, folks, Brock Purdy, it's where we got to start this game. There's so much to talk about. There's so much that Christian McCaffrey did and Kittle did and Fred Warner did and Dre Greenlaw did in this game. Isaiah Oliver had a great game tonight. We're going to get into what he did against CeeDee Lamb in just a moment. But Brock Purdy, in his last two games, is 37 of 45 for 535 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. He's an awful lot easier to underestimate than he is to defend, apparently. And my goodness. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott is, making like $40 million a year, huge contract. 3 of his last 5 passes went for interceptions tonight. So the only thing we do not have is the official final of this game, but this game was pretty much over and done with, over half an hour ago. We could have started the most aggressive post-game show in the NFL, so aggressive it even starts in the game. We could have started this 15, 20 minutes ago, because this thing is as in the barn as an NFL game can get. Again, you had Dallas walking to the locker room with about 20 seconds to play on a third down at the beginning of the first half, at the end of the first half, for goodness sakes. Just conceding. We can't do anything out here. We're not even going to try to get into field goal range to make this a little bit better. We're going to regroup. We're going to talk about this. Wow. A dominant night for Kyle Shanahan, and let me welcome so many of you. We already got nearly 200 people in the room. That is fantastic. I'm expecting one of the biggest nights in the history of the Plus for a little post-game and Damon. Why not? Because this thing has been a remarkable start to a season for the 49ers, and any doubts, any questions about where this could go, honestly, couldn't be answered until this team played a team like the Dallas Cowboys. But now that we have seen the Dallas Cowboys, we can confirm that the 49ers are, without a doubt, along with the Philadelphia Eagles, the two best teams. I don't even think necessarily in the NFC. We can now talk about them in terms of the two best teams in football. And that soon-to-be down-the-road matchup at the Eagles is just got Game of the Year written all over it in this league. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bets post-game show. It is wonderful to have you here. And let me tell you, I hope that you took some advice to sign up for Bottom Line Bets, because my man Stefan went 4-1 today. He was on fire once again. And if you've been rolling with Stefan all NFL season, you've been cashing winning tickets, and you cashed winners today as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, the clock is stopped at 2 for some stupid reason. I don't know. They're not going to let all the players on the field yet. But let's just say welcome to a little post-game and Damon, brought to you by Bottom Line Bets. A tremendous night for the 49ers, a true clinic. And there's too many streaks right now to almost even count. The 49ers have won 15 straight regular season games. That ties the longest regular season winning streak in franchise history. They've scored 30 or more points 5 times now to start the season for the first time in franchise history. They've scored at least 30 now in 8 straight regular season games. That is the longest since 1970. Christian McCaffrey has scored a touchdown in 14 straight games. Brock Purdy is officially 10-0 as a regular season starter, and he has been playing remarkable football all season long. The Cowboys, again, had given up 41 points in their first 4 games. They allow 42 tonight on Sunday Night Football. Welcome. It's great to have you here. A little post-game. And Damon, thank you for showing up. And if you are a 49er fan, you got to be as excited about this football team. This is the most excited you can be about a football team since the best of the Jim Harbaugh era. I really mean it. Like, you knew that Kansas City was waiting for you in that first Shanahan Super Bowl in 2019, and that just looked like tough sledding. And it was. It was. The Kansas City Chiefs are still on that heater that was started with that Super Bowl championship. They're good. They're really good. Right now, the 49ers look better than they've looked since the very best of the Jim Harbaugh era. There's just no other way around it. This defense tonight, you wanted them to really start showing you their fangs. Maybe the defensive line isn't what you thought it would be at this particular time, but there's nothing wrong with it. The linebacker play of this team is absolutely extraordinary. There hasn't been a 1-2 49ers linebacking punch like this since Patrick Willis and Navarro Bowman, and that is about as good of a 1-2 linebacking punch just about any team has ever had at any point in time in their historic run. I mean, you didn't get better than Bowman, and you didn't get much better than Patrick Willis historically. Like, that's how good Patrick Willis was. So what we're watching Fred Warner do, what we're watching Dre Greenlaw do, just fly all around the field. The Cowboys opened with 4 straight 3-and-outs. 4 straight 3-and-outs. They're just a rhythmless football team all night long. When it was said and done, I said that there were 3 guys you really needed to spend your evening containing, and if you do that, beating and covering against the Cowboys should be easier for the 49ers than it would be for a lot of other teams. And the 3 guys to keep a check on were, number 1, Micah Parsons. Make sure that he does not wreck your shop. Micah Parsons had a couple of decent plays tonight, but nothing to write home about. This was not a memorable Micah Parsons game. Tony Pollard. You keep Tony Pollard in check. That means the Dallas running game is in check. That means Dak and the passing game is going to become one-dimensional, and hopefully you can take advantage of that, which the Niners did. But you had tonight Tony Pollard going for 8 carries, only 29 yards. He wasn't good. Only 19 carries for 57 yards for the Dallas Cowboys tonight, while the 49ers rushed the ball 41 times for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns this evening. Jordan Mason, your leading rusher. Christian McCaffrey had 19 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Jordan Mason, 10 carries for 69 yards and a touchdown in this game. And I said that the other Cowboy that you needed to just keep him in check. And if you did that, you keep Parsons in check, you keep Pollard in check, and you keep CeeDee Lamb in check. I don't know how Dallas wins this game. CeeDee Lamb had 4 catches for 49 yards on 5 targets. So everything that this team needed to do to shut off the real spigots of game-changing talent that you see the Cowboys usually come with each and every week. The Niners, they went over and shut off those spigots like they were done watering the lawn. Wow. Look, Christian McCaffrey is just one tough son of a bitch. He got crushed on a play that was incorrectly called taunting on the player who didn't do it. The taunting was a soft call. I think it was on Donovan Wilson, who lorded over McCaffrey after he kind of had a helmet-to-helmet with him. And McCaffrey got hit as hard as he's been hit this entire season, and he's been hit hard a few times this year. McCaffrey not only doesn't come out of the game because he just got his bell rung, he stays in the game, and the next play is a 3-yard loss. But the fact that he stayed in the game just to be buried for a 3-yard loss was impressive. The very next play was a screen pass to McCaffrey for 21 yards, and he would end up finishing off that drive for a rushing touchdown for a touchdown in his 14th straight game. Christian McCaffrey's a bad motherfucker. I mean, there's just no other way to say it. He's fantastic. He is fantastic. George Kittle with the first 3-touchdown game of his career. Brock Purdy with a 4-touchdown game. Again, just from his numbers tonight, 17-24 for 252 yards and 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, only 1 sack of Brock Purdy. The 49ers offensive line got the job done. The 49ers defensive line did what it needed to do all night long. The 49ers linebackers cleaned up any and all messes all over the field, forcing turnovers, just impactful plays all night long. It was a hell of a game. A hell of a game for the 49ers. Again, poke holes in it. I dare you. Tell me more about Brock Purdy's training camp interceptions. Like, I freaking dare you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do other than admit that this is probably the best football team on planet Earth right now? Welcome again to Postgame and Damon, brought to you by BottomLineBets.com. And I'm going to tell you that if you, for whatever reason, didn't decide to sign up for, I gave you a free day of handicapping with a promo code. Use promo code Damon at BottomLineBets.com. You got a free day of handicapping. You could have used that on a winning Saturday. You could have used that on a 4-1 Sunday. You could have used that when my man Stefan went clean sweeping in his Major League playoff bets. Did you use it? I think you still got a chance to use it. Promo code Damon for Monday Night Football. It's time you learned your lesson. Go to bottomlinebets.com. If you're making plays, you better be looking at the plays and positions that my man Stefan is taking, because he's winning almost every single bet that he makes. I've never seen a handicapper look this good or be this hot, not once in my life. Not once. So get on board with BottomLineBets.com. We're thrilled to have them sponsoring the post-game show. I know a few of you who signed up made money. I got a few friends of mine who were like, Damon, thank you, made money. You're welcome. Use promo code Damon at BottomLineBets.com. God, Fred Warner was great tonight. I'll tell you what the biggest maybe moment in the entire game that felt like it was full of big and definitive moments, to me what stood out more than anything else was that's not a turning point moment in this game. The Cowboys, I think, knew the game was over when Brock Purdy, this is in the second half, Brock Purdy throws a great ball to Brandon Ayuk for a really big gain, but there was a holding call on Spencer Burford to take that 41-yard gain right off the playbook. Didn't happen. So a monster chunk play that was really going to put you in position for a scoring opportunity to take over the game to the point where all Dallas was about to do would start staring at its own cleat tips. So a 41 play vanishes instantly. And the very next play is that huge strike to Debo for 43 yards. And it's just a play that keeps the drive alive, ahead of the chains. Brock Purdy doesn't stop attacking. He doesn't get scared. There's no dauber down after, an unfortunate call. Burford did hell. The player was bent backwards for goodness sakes. But, that's the kind of play where when you think you make it and then you realize we didn't make that play. Now Dallas gets a little bit momentum thinking, man, we just survived a big moment, little dauber down moment kind of for the offense. Not at all. Not at all. And I just love how aggressive Kyle Shanahan has stayed in play calling at all times. He comes out and he dials up 6 points right at the beginning of the game once again. Kyle Shanahan does, doesn't he? How many times are the 49ers going to come on and score on their opening drive so far this season? Has it happened in every game but one? I think it has. So, just a clinic for the San Francisco 49ers tonight. A clinic. Standout moments and plays. You had that Fred Warner peanut punch for a fumble on Pollard. Kevin Givens picked up the recovery after a ball bouncing off Diamador Lenore. There were two really important deflections off of Diamador Lenore tonight. One off his leg on the fumble that didn't go out of bounds, and the other on the interception that Warner ended up coming down with. So Diamador Lenore, Nice job in this game. He and Isaiah Oliver did a hell of a job on CeeDee Lamb in the slot all night long. The Christian McCaffrey fumble on the first play of the second quarter down by the goal line, I wrote that down as a moment that, hey, that was a win for Dallas. And it's one of those, hey, even though the 49ers are playing really, really well and they're in control of this, almost every dynamic of this game, they're really not in control of the scoreboard. They're not scoring like they should be. And the 49ers having that turnover and not scoring like they should have been was the only thing that kept Dallas in this game. The 49ers' inability to score gaudy points early in this game kept the Cowboys in this game more than the Dallas Cowboys did. Whatever the Cowboys' plan was tonight, they couldn't execute it. They couldn't run it. It didn't happen. And the Cowboys, look, they're the kind of team that's going to lose a game or two, but to be just physically, just your ass got kicked, I don't think we're going to see that out of the Dallas Cowboys very often. They're not bad, but they're clearly not as good for the 49ers. And this is 3 straight wins, including postseason over the Dallas Cowboys. And I thought a Mooney Ward pass breakup on a Dak heave from his own end zone where he provided great coverage. I think it was on Gallup, who could have made a big flip the field play, but didn't because Mooney Ward was all over that. I thought that was a big play. Look, Dak had one ball of significance tonight. The touchdown that he threw to Kevontae Turpin was the only thing the Cowboys did offensively tonight. The entire Cowboys offense was basically one freaking play tonight. And then Dallas just saying we good and jogging off the field on third down with like 20 seconds or so left in the first half. Just no, we're good. We're good. Even though we're one shot play away from a field goal attempt, we're just going in. And then Dak throwing that interception that Hufanga had great pressure on. Gibson came down with that interception, and Dak's night didn't start well, and it got worse as the night went along. It really did. He was, I don't even know if he was shook as much as he was just bad. Dak Prescott isn't half as bad as the 49ers make him look when they play him. They make him look like a day one rookie when they play him. Meanwhile, Brock Purdy is just, again, I'm not telling you that he's going to be a Hall of Famer, but he started his career better than most Hall of Famers ever did. So there you go. That's stupid to even talk about that. We don't have to talk about that. Where this goes, we do not know, but the starting point is absurd. It's absurd what Brock Purdy has done in this starting point. It's amazing. Look, it's wonderful to have you here. I'm going to hop into this chat to see what you thought about the game in just a moment here. It's already moving right along. If I've already missed any super chats, I apologize. I am going to start over here and see where we are, starting with any and all super chats. Because look, if you pay to talk, we got to give you full priority, right? That's the way it goes. Never daunted. Go Hoosiers. It was a crucifixion. It really was a crucifixion tonight. And Galen, if that's you, thank you very much, my man. I do appreciate that. Again, super chats got to go to the front of the line because I miss this stuff because you're so active in the chat. This community is amazing. The chat moves faster than I can keep up with it, or chats are kept live in the cache of chats that I actually am able to go through. So we go to San Bruno Mike, who said CMC was using that truck stick. The defense was going hit stick. Dallas just got de-pantsed on national TV. They did. They're standing there with polka dot underpants on national TV. I see your britches, son. You got stinky britches. You got them stinky britches. I'll go South Park on you. I'll go Old Chef. Them stinky britches, you got them stinky britches. Dude, the Dallas Cowboys got their ass kicked in a way that's going to have Jerry Jones just, tomorrow on his radio show, Jarrah's going to be talking about how he remembers the days of seeing glory holes, but he just can't get his team through that glory hole right now. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Jerry, he's like, I told you that the 49ers were the belle of the ball in classes, but I didn't expect the Dallas Cowboys to be outclassed. We were outclassed in all the phases of the game. Oh, Jerry's going to do some unbelievable outside the locker room bullshit interviews tonight, is he not? Oh, that's going to be great. Leslie saying, did Hufanga give you that necklace? Or give Kittle that necklace? He might have. Somebody says, Damon, you need a little bit more lighting. All right, well, I'll turn it on. I thought maybe you want a little sexy Damon. You don't want sexy Damon? You want a little brighter in here? Hold on. We can get a little brighter. See, but now I'm shiny. At the end of the night, I'm a little oily. I don't want to be oily for you, but PMG, we're looking to correct things as well as we can. Oh, the 479 is in this bitch. Nice. 479 is here. Thank you, Nick J. Good to see you again. I'm seeing so many names, so many fans, so many memorable names, so many new names are in here tonight. If you're new here tonight, boy, click that subscribe. I really would appreciate it. Hit notify. I'm going to tell you right now that when Postgame and Damon is through, and we haven't even gotten going here yet, but when Postgame and Damon is through, I'm going to hop over with Larry Krueger for a little bit and then invite everyone to 49ers Wake Up at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. And we are just going to be just breaking this whole thing down with the best Monday morning 49er wake-up show that you're going to get anywhere in the Bay Area. So be joining us on a station simulcast tomorrow on YouTube starting at 8 a.m. Fish and Chips over in jolly old England saying Greenlaw roams and tackles like a mongoose taking out a snake. I love the imagery. And yeah, he's everywhere. He is just everywhere. And anywhere he's not, Fred Warner is. Fred Warner was running stride for stride with Cooks tonight. Cooks is one of the fastest players in football. I mean, good God. The guy is a cheat code. He's a human cheat code. We say hello to Delbert Davis. Delbert, I don't know if I've seen your name in here before. Welcome, thank you, and cheers to you, sir. The $4.99 going right in that, right there, right that ganja jar, right there. It's filling up. And I'm going to tell you, we got 600 people in the room tonight. I don't think we've ever had 600 people in here for a live show. So thank you very much for coming on in. We knew Cowboys Week was going to be big. We're off to a really big, nice start here. Delbert, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Again, this was a definitive statement win of the first degree for the San Francisco 49ers. It was a statement loss by the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, that was bad. That was bad, Dallas. There's no other way to say it. I tell you, I on a day where the 49ers don't play during the day, they play on a night primetime game, it really gives you the opportunity to sit around and take a look at the league. I'm going to tell you straight up, on a night where 49ers fans should just be brimming with confidence, having chest out, excited happiness, and you absolutely have every reason to be as excited and as happy and as joyful as you can be as a fan base. The Eagles are a monster. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no reason to be cocky against the Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Eagles are a fucking bully of the first degree. They just kick ass on the line of scrimmage. I watched that entire game against the Rams today. But Sean McVay is in the middle of his best season as an NFL head coach. The Rams are better than anyone thought that they would be. The 49ers already got their taste of the Rams, and the Rams played the 49ers better than anyone else has so far this year. So, God. The Eagles are a badass football team. The only way the 49ers are going to beat that badass football team is if they are a badass football team as well. And you know what? They are. They absolutely are. Joseph saying, Dak Prescott, bad for ball. Brock Purdy, good for ball. A little rest in peace to my man Michael Urban right there. Thank you very much. Oh, people want the blackened whiskey to come out. Look, I'm telling you, Blackened isn't even sponsoring this quarter anymore, but after a game like that, there's no reason not to. There's no reason not to pop a bottle and say, yeah, that was dominant. Here we go. Yeah. Woo. 49ers just look like world beaters tonight. World beaters. We got DeWitt Construction in here. Dream season. It's starting. Look, I think it's important. Like, what job can I do? How can I properly serve you as an audience? With, we've got way too many hosts in the world of content creation who have not properly served their audience. They served propaganda, not honesty. They served what they thought, not what was. We don't do that over here. And I want to calm you down. I want you to enjoy the moment. And I don't want you to start thinking about things that can't happen yet. Like, nobody wins a Super Bowl in October. But if you want to start thinking about the very best season that you could possibly have, you can do that. I mean, this is it. The 49ers, if they stay healthy, just got a bad, nasty football team that feels and looks complete. That complete fourth quarter game, the complete 4-quarter game, that's what you got tonight. The 4 quarters that you have been waiting for showed up on Sunday Night Football, and it showed up against a team that has really beaten the doors and brakes off of a few bad football teams, and then got upset by an Arizona Cardinals team that's got, quite a bit of squabble in it. But good Lord. Good Lord, this is a real deal football team, kids. That's it. And a season of evaluation is a season of data points. There's not a single data point that the 49ers have sent back to us through 5 games that makes me worry about them. I have not a data point of worry in 5 games. Who can say that? What other fan base can say that? Not a data point of worry in 5 games so far. Indiana Jim. By the way, Kittle did say that Hufanga gave him the necklace. Dude, Hufanga's a badass. Absolute badass. The Canthil Kid. Amazing Sunday night. Thanks for all the content, Damon. Your channel is going to keep growing. Cheers to you. What are they going to say now about Purdy? Well, I mean, here's what you got to say. Brock Purdy has done something that no one could have expected, right? Without rehashing it all, like we all, if you're here, you're a 49ers fan, you're a football fan, and I don't need to retell you and relive the Brock Purdy origin story. We know where he started from. I want to just start right with after surgery. Brock Purdy, after surgery, missed an offseason that everyone agrees is a very important offseason. The first time you taste the NFL, you get to that first offseason, and now you can process everything that you just went through. You can go over a season's worth of tape. That's when your journey to learning this league really begins. But because of the offseason elbow surgery, it felt like that journey was delayed for Brock Purdy, right? Couldn't happen for Brock Purdy. So I don't think that anyone had any reason to expect what has actually happened. I think the most you could have really hoped for is that Brock Purdy will somehow be able to pick up in this season where he left off last season, right? That's what we were kind of hoping for. Hopefully he can pick up where he left off. But a significant step forward, probably out of the question based on a year, an off season of rehab, other than, tailoring your craft around what you just learned. We had no reason, absolutely no reason to expect what has actually happened to Brock Purdy. Folks, he has taken a significant step forward. This isn't a half step forward. This isn't even like a stride forward. This is a significant leap forward. Brock Purdy entered this league and for whatever reason was pretty good right away. Brock Purdy and his performances are bordering on great performances. Like last week was a great performance. I'm not saying he's as good as the best quarterbacks in franchise history. He's just playing better than all those guys at this point in their careers. What does that mean? Where does that go? I don't know. I don't want to do Mr. Get you overexcited about anything. It's not who I am. There's something going on with this guy, with this team. There is just special dripping off of all of this. You can see there's special just doing the windows. It's incredible. Paul Coffey says, welcome Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason had himself exactly the kind of night that Jordan Mason needed to have to take pressure off of Christian McCaffrey, to give confidence to Kyle Shanahan to go in a different direction, because you can count on the guy. Daryl says, great show, Damon. Thank you, Daryl. 49ers made a statement in front of the entire nation tonight at the expense of the Cowboys. 49ers and Phillies, the best team in the NFL, bar none. Ooh, little hashtag. I got my own hashtag. Thank you. Postgame and Damon. Chef A, again, Damon, glory holes, Folsom Street Fair. No, Jerry Jones had a famous soundbite years ago where he was talking about the old glory and finding those glory holes again at the Dallas Cowboys. No, Jerry Jones wasn't talking about blowjobs, but it sounded like it, so that's why it was memorable. But no, this has got nothing to do with the Folsom Street Fair. But thank you, Chef A. It's great to see you in here. If you got any chefing tips for us, we'll take them. I mean, here's a little honesty, right? And I don't know if anyone else feels bad for the Cowboys, but this guy's name is Dallas, so I'll give him that much. He says, I feel bad for the Cowboys. Even if they win out, they know that they got no chance in the playoffs. Yeah, the Cowboys aren't. I don't know who's going to beat the Eagles or the 49ers in the NFC. The NFC is definitely a two-team conference until further notice, with the third best team in this conference, without a doubt, being...
Come on, D's. D's nuts.
Dan Campbell's Detroit Lions. By the way, the Detroit Lions ran this crazy kind of reversey-deucey screen to their tight end today, and it looked like Kyle Shanahan almost ran the exact same play to get Kittle his second touchdown of the night tonight. How many times do you see a double reverse fake screen bomb off a flea flicker? Something else. Craig D. Bruce, you the man, brother. Oh, well, thank you very, very much. Erwin got excited about the bottle pull. Thank you very, very much. I'm glad to get you excited. Erwin, thank you. There we go. Little super chat right there. 49ers woke up this morning and said, we are that team. David, they looked like that team. They looked like that team. Very impressive. Just very, very impressive. Again, Kittle's second touchdown, that 3-touchdown game that he had, it was so impressive. He was what element of tonight's game wasn't impressive? Colton McKivitz played well. Colton McKivitz, everyone likes to kick Colton McKivitz around. He played well tonight. Drew, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Little super chatting from Drew. This is a game for big dogs. The Cowboys need to keep their puppy asses off the porch. Look, this was a big, nasty football game, and the 49ers were the bigger, nastier football team in it the entire game long. You know the Niners are kicking some ass when you're throwing shit at the screen and saying, let Darnold throw some passes, please. Look, they're chanting for Trey Lance in there tonight. Put in Trey. Put in Trey. Again, let's not get over our skis with where this goes. Be happy with where it is. It's the strongest 5-0 start, not only in the NFL so far this year, but it's the strongest 5-0 start of the entire Kyle Shanahan era. It's the strongest 5-0 start. It's among the strongest 5-0 starts that the 49ers have ever put on paper in the history of their franchise. And that officially earns a maximum football on a Sunday night.
Maximum!
You're joining Postgame and Damon. It's great to have you here on the Plus, brought to you by BottomLineBets.com. Speaking of winning, there's no one in Vegas doing more winning than my man Stefan. Find out for yourself. If you use the promo code Damon to get a free day of handicapping, you went 4-1 today. You had a great day of Saturday college football, along with Major League Baseball playoff plays. If that's the day you used it. If my man's feeling generous and going to set me up with another promo code next week, you better use it. You better use it. You better use it because it's just free money. It's just out there. You can just grab it right out of the air. My man Stefan's on fire. BottomLineBets.com. Promo code Damon should still get you picks for Monday Night Football. Don't waste any more time. By the way, speaking of something, since we got so many 49ers fans in here right now, I got to tell you this, and I want to take Billy Bob, thank you very much again here. I want to show you this T-shirt. I think I wore this last week too, or I wore this with Larry last week. This is San Francisco's first ever professional football team. The San Francisco Clippers. See that old big, it looks like it was at the Fleet Week Air Show this week, the big Clipper ship. Looks like Fat Albert of the Blue Angels. So these T-shirts are the coolest vintage T-shirts that you're going to find anywhere in San Francisco, and you can find them at Jack's on Chestnut Street. Now, if you can't get to San Francisco because you're watching, from outside of the city, somewhere far away in another state, you're on the East Coast, you're in London, guess what? Go to jacksf.com. So it's two S's, JACKS. SF.com, jacksf.com. They have the coolest vintage T-shirts you've ever seen for Bay Area teams that range from the 49ers to the Giants to the Warriors to the Sharks to old defunct teams that don't even exist anymore. I mean, it's awesome. Jax has got the coolest vintage sports T-shirts I've ever seen, and if you use the promo code DamonBruce10 when you check out, you get 10% off your purchase. I told Jack, you keep me dripping in T-shirts all year long, I'll keep doing promos for you. Damon Bruce 10 is the promo code to use at Jack's. You can get all your Christmas shopping done in one sitting. That's how awesome their T-shirts are. Their T-shirts are fantastic quality. I'll recommend, as always, get one side up. If you're a large, get an extra large. If you are a medium, get a large. Due to shrinkage. But these are T-shirts that you're going to have for a long time. A long time. They're great quality. They're awesome. And they're so cool looking. JacksSF.com. Damon Bruce 10 is the promo code. God, this was an impressive night for the 49ers. Got the most important people in the Niners organization right now. It's the training staff. I mean, I'm going to put the coaching staff up there too, but I hear you. This team stays healthy. The sky is the absolute limit. We see that. We know that. It feels like that. And they're playing like that. Again, you don't have to put an awful lot of hope into your 49ers bucket. You're not hoping that this is a good team. You're not hoping that this is a team that rounds a corner. You're hoping that this is a team that is playing like this, not just at the beginning of the year, but at the end of the year. Because if they're playing like this at the end of the year, magical things can happen. Magical things can happen when you're playing like this. Dallas again says, demoralizing the Cowboys. Even if they win out. Oh, you paid. Here's the thing. Dallas, I read that for free, and you came back and still super chatted. Thank you very much, Dallas. Yeah, Cowboys' schedule gets tough from here. It's not going to get easier for the Cowboys. And look, we saw a Cincinnati team get up off the deck a couple weeks ago. That looked like it might be drifting into the lane of an easy game for the 49ers. Cincinnati looked good today. Jamar Chase got loose. Joe Burrow looked healthy. There are dangerous teams out there, but to be consistent is the hardest thing to do in this league, and that is literally the premier hallmark of the Kyle Shanahan era. The minute he rebuilt this team in the image that he liked, even with all the revolving door at quarterback for whatever reason, the 49ers have consistently been an incredible football team for the last since 2019. It's been remarkable to see how successful Kyle Shanahan's system is. Brock Purdy's a system quarterback, whatever. He's in the system that he needs to be in to kick everybody's ass. Like, that's good enough, right? I mean, what are you saying, that you're not going to believe Brock Purdy is a good enough quarterback until he does it somewhere else? Was that what you used to say about Tom Brady? Tom Brady, with all these Lombardi trophies, you take him out of Bill Belichick's system before I'll be impressed? Is that what you needed? He did that, so hopefully that shuts you up. But God, what argument do you have against this? What argument would you have against him? Corey Hanks in here for the first time. Damon, first-time listener. Great show. Great to have you in, Corey. Thank you for joining us. Please go ahead, hit that like and subscribe button. We got, still over 500 people in here. Subscribe, kids. Subscribe, or at least hit a like for me. I would appreciate that. I hate that I have to ask you to do these things. Never daunted. Never daunted radio network. Go Hoosiers. You have to go through Tom Sula before you get to heaven. Hey, look, Tom Sula was purgatory compared to that Chip Kelly year, right? I mean, that was hell. Tom Sula was at least purgatory, if we can get all biblical. But man, people are keeping receipts. Here's the thing. Don't bother keeping receipts on content creators. Just go ahead and give me a subscribe. That's the biggest receipt in the world. Less that, more you, Damon. There you go. That lets everyone know that, a rational, adult, experienced approach to watching football is still a needed thing in this world. Don't need a whole bunch of pearl clutchers screaming about what they think they know more about than Kyle Shanahan does. That's just ridiculous. It was ridiculous when it's happened. I pointed it out in real time as it was happening. And right now, again, I don't even need to say anything. I don't need to prove anyone wrong. The NFL has proven people wrong. Just a dominant performance. 42-10. And again, how many streaks would you like to keep going at once? Let's be honest. This team's now won 15 in a row in the regular season. It's tied for the longest streak in the history of the San Francisco 49ers. It's incredible. Say it out loud. The longest winning streak in 49er franchise history. They're tied with your favorite memories of this franchise. They've scored 30 or more points 5 times now to start a season. That's a first in franchise history. They've scored at least 30 points in 8 straight regular season games. That's the longest streak in my lifetime, longest streak going back to 1970. Christian McCaffrey, he scores touchdowns every single game he plays. 14 in a row now. I mean, with Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy, the 49ers have been basically and essentially unbeatable. Unbeatable. Cowboys had given up 41 points in their first 4 games. They allowed 42, and the Niners just de-pantsed them. They really did. I mean, Cowboys were playing dirty against CMC. Look, there's no doubt. One of the best ways to beat the 49ers is to knock Christian McCaffrey out of the game. And there's kind of guys who are playing on the edge. I thought he got horse-collared once tonight. Could have gone called, but didn't. It was on the edge. But there are face masks that he gets pulled down with. I thought there was a face mask missed tonight. The game started with a face mask on the first play of the game. Christian McCaffrey got a face mask on the first play of the game. Then he's running again on the second play of the game from the 43-yard line. So the 49ers were like at midfield based on a face mask right off the rip. Got a pass to Ayuk for 9 yards. It's 2nd and inches. You're already over midfield. McCaffrey up the middle for a first down. Purdy to Ayuk for a first down. They've run 3 plays. They got 3 first downs. Yeah, that incomplete pass, and it looked like Debo might have fumbled it, but even if he might have, the entire thing was dead because Parsons was in the neutral zone. So it's 1st and 5. Purdy to Debo sets up a 2nd and 1. McCaffrey gets the first down, then hey, diddle, touchdown, George Kittle. 49ers never even saw a 3rd down in a perfect opening drive to the game. 7-play, 75-yard scoring drive. You have Debo, Ayuk, Kittle, Christian McCaffrey all touching the ball. Like, Kyle Shanahan is just screaming, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Stay healthy, do what I fucking tell you to do, and we're going to win a lot of football games. That's a hell of a head coach. It's a hell of a head coach right there. But he hasn't won a Lombardi trip. Shut up. He's gonna. Again, we went through the Kyle Shanahan appreciation videos this week. Go back and watch the video that I put up about appreciating Kyle Shanahan and the exclusive club that he's already in. Well, he's never won a Super Bowl. Yeah, but he's already won 6 playoff games. So stop, if your argument is he can't win big games, playoff games are big games. Well, he hasn't won, the Super Bowl. Okay, well, he lost that Super Bowl. Okay, so the guy who actually lost the Super Bowl was coaching defense for the Dallas Cowboys tonight, because I've never seen a Super Bowl loss attributed to an offensive coordinator except for Kyle Shanahan in the history of football. But people still hold the Falcons Super Bowl loss over Kyle Shanahan as if he were more responsible for it than Dan Quinn was. That's just, it's a level of bullshit that no other coach has attached to them. Kyle Shanahan is outstanding at his job, and he's deep enough into it. I don't even think you need to qualify that. You want to say Brock Purdy, he's outstanding so far. He's so early in his career. You want to qualify that? That's all right. That's good. I'm fine with that. You should qualify that. Being like, for a guy who's started 10 regular season games and has won them all, looks pretty good. I mean, it's unbelievable. $17 of 24 for 252 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy, now over his last 2 games, is 37 for 45 for 535 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. That's cooking. That's understanding the job, the assignment. Chef A, little tip of the day from the chef herself. Keep your knife sharp. Keep your wits sharper. Seriously, sharpen your fucking nerves. Or knives. Both. Yeah, you look, Chef A, there you go. The chances of you cutting yourself with a dull knife are greater than with a sharp knife, because dull knives slip. Sharp knives are just cutting. Excellent. Excellent tip. A little something for everyone here on the show. Again, we're going to make you smarter sports fans. We're going to make you better cooks. That's what we're going to do over here. George Costanza. It's a spirit crusher. That is a spirit crusher. I mean, it's a long season, kids. There's still 12 more football games. 12 more football games. But my goodness, it's as good of a 5-game start as you're going to see anywhere in football. Just outstanding. Shush saying, Damon, we need at least like 5 more maximum footballs. We'll give you one right here. We'll work them in as the night goes along. Again, who beats Philadelphia before they get to, or who beats the 49ers before they get to Philadelphia? It's murky to see. It's also ridiculous to assume that this team is going to be an undefeated football team. That's not happening. Again, 12 more football games. There's a lot that can happen. I'll tell you, I wouldn't be surprised to see the 49ers have to go on the road and, maybe dump a game in Jacksonville. That sounds like that could happen to me. Jacksonville was pretty good today, beat a good Bills team. We'll ask more questions like that after a night of sleeping on this in the final hour of 49ers Wake Up, simulcast starting at 8 a.m. on the Plus and the Krug Show. Damon Bruce, Larry Krueger, the 2 greatest pre- and post-game hosts the 49ers have ever had, are back together for 49ers Wake Up, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Be there. Don't pay attention to your Monday morning of work. Pay attention to us. Again, I'm good live after the game. You give me a night to sleep on this, I get dangerous. So we're going to have an awful lot for you coming up tomorrow. I can promise you that. Brought to you by Palmetto Superfoods. I'll have acai bowls to show you. They're so beautiful. They're very pretty. Days says Al Michaels made more money on that Thursday Night Football broadcast than Purdy did in any one single game. No, Dad, Al should be getting advice from bottomlinebets.com. He should be. But, yeah, he might have. Here's the thing. The only thing that Brock Purdy is playing the type of football where I can promise you're not going to have to worry about where that guy's next meal's coming from. Brock Purdy, enjoy the discount while you got it, because this guy's going to play himself into an unbelievable contract. He keeps playing like this. Don't worry about Brock. There's nobody in the world who's got a nicer financial future on the horizon. Oh, by the way, here's my man himself. Stefan is in the house from Bottom Line Bets. Stefan, it's good to see you. You're on fire. Give the people the promo codes. Promo code Damon got you winners this past week. Use promo code Damon at bottomlinebets.com. My man Stefan will puts a personal touch on your relationship. This is the handicapper that you want to be in business with. He wants to make you money. And he's not just telling you where you should put your bets. He is putting his advice into play at the window every night alongside you. He's got skin in the game, and then he shows it to you. If you follow him on Facebook or Instagram, my man took home 10 grand on a single 49er team total tonight. Laid 5 to make 5. Cashed $10K ticket at the window. Boom. Hendricks saying, Damon, new sub, daily Larry Krueger listener. Thank you, Hendricks, for following me over here. Larry and I will be at your service first thing tomorrow morning. 8 a.m., baby. Join us. Join us. D. Bruce, much appreciated. We much appreciate you, man. I mean, the chat is just cooking. Absolutely cooking in the chat. Let me scroll on down again. The whole point tonight is I don't want to miss. I feel terrible. Absolutely terrible when I miss a super chat. So I'm going to scroll on down to the bottom here and let the whole cycle start again. You can hear it in the voice a little, can't you? I got the Spilkis. I'm not going to lie. It was a weekend spent going, but man, tonight was the Dallas Cowboys. They're like, sorry, we're out here. Can we just get into the locker room? We don't even want to run plays at the end of the first half here. Fred Warner for Defensive Player of the Year. How about a blackened victory cocktail? Postman and Capitola. Well, Postman, I'll tell you, we've already done a victory shot. And again, it's an 8 a.m. or tomorrow morning, so we're not going to do too many more tonight. So here's something that I do want to address. John R. John R. says, Damon, tons of bum coaches. Tons of bum coaches have won Super Bowls. Is that what you think? Is that what you really think? I think the reason why a lot of people don't know what they're looking at is because they got no sense of history or how hard this shit really is. So let Uncle Damon explain to you how hard and rare it is for a human being to win a Super Bowl as a head coach. Because there are not a ton of bum coaches with Super Bowls. As a matter of fact, only 35 human beings have ever won a Super Bowl as a head coach. Only 35 head coaches have ever won Super Bowls. 9 of those guys are dead, leaving us just 26 living human beings who have ever won a Super Bowl as a head coach. Bums don't win Super Bowls. Great head coaches have not won Super Bowls. Marv Levy hasn't won didn't win a Super Bowl. Dan Reeves didn't live a Super Bowl. Bud Grant didn't win a Super Bowl. These are guys who've got 10 playoff victories under their belts. That's a rarefied air. 10 playoff postseason victories. Only 18 coaches in the history of football have ever done that. Kyle has already won 6 playoff games. He hasn't won a Super Bowl. Here's a list of coaches that have also won 6 playoff games. Exactly 6. George Halas, Mike Ditka, Dick Vermeil, and Bruce Arenas. I mean, all those guys knew what they were doing. Oh, and what do you know? All those guys got Super Bowls. Well, obviously George Halas didn't. Because they weren't winning Super Bowls back then. They weren't called Super Bowls. So, John R., tons of bums have won Super Bowls. No, that is not true. Never daunted with the 5 spot. I love that we're celebrating tonight. We deserve it, but it's time to have a serious conversation about CMC being on goal line package. I mean, look, I know what you're talking about. You have to play with a concern for Christian McCaffrey because he holds this season's promise in his health. He really does. How do you go away from him when he's a touchdown machine? Kyle understands what he has in Mason and Price and Elijah Mitchell. He understands that he's got those backs and they're good. McCaffrey's great, especially at scoring touchdowns and getting in when you're in the red zone. I understand why Kyle uses the shit out of Christian McCaffrey because he's so good. I also love the fact Kyle had him out of that game. Had Kittle. Kittle got out of that game. I heard that Fred Warner, Greenlaw, and Bosa basically had their helmets taken from them in the fourth quarter. They were saying, you're not going back in tonight. Like, Kyle's smart enough to not be negligent with Christian McCaffrey. I believe that. Man. Look, we got people welcoming Stefan of Bottom Line Bets into the house. I love it. I love that they're Stefan in the house, hashtag Bottom Line Bets, not BOTTL line bet, Bottom Line Bets. Gina saying, thank you for sponsoring Damon. Here's what I'd love you to do, Gina. Use the promo code Damon or the new promo code that we'll hopefully maybe have for you next week if Stefan's feeling generous and wanting to give everyone day of free winners. That's all he's coming up with. If you use the promo code today, you went 4-1. So yeah, thank you for sponsoring, Stefan. And I'm telling you again, we have a wonderful chat room. Very nice people in the chat. Thank you for sponsoring Damon. And Stefan knows how much I appreciate it. You can thank me by signing up for Stefan. Sign up with Stefan. Daily, weekly, monthly subscriptions, and after a free day, free trial, you're going to want to do that. Oh, looks like we got a satisfied customer here saying, Anthony. Anthony says, thank you, Stefan. Pleasure doing business. Damon, use promo code Damon at bottomlinebets.com. Stefan, don't forget the .com, bottomlinebets.com. And you're right. First name Stefan, last name Kutzman. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Look at everybody having fun. Winning in real life, winning fantasy football, winning gambling football, winning actual football. Oh, Damon, Hoosiers versus Michigan on Saturday. Yeah, that won't be winning football. That is not going to be winning football. Thank you. Although I did see the USC Trojans, so I'm just going to full on dark side. Caleb Williams, fight on. Fight on. Not this. I'm learning. Again, don't make me get an OJ jersey. My wife is going to leave me. She went to Cal. She's not happy. Man. Days is saying, Damon, you made my drive home commute worthwhile. After you were wrongly let go, I felt empty and had to follow you on YouTube. I'm glad I did it, brother. I'm glad you did it too, Days. Thank you very, very much. You know what's funny? There are a lot of people who have just found out in the last month or so, because they don't listen to sports talk radio like they used to. No one does. That I got laid off in a cost-cutting move by a penny stock company. They can't afford to pay real talent. So there's a lot of people that have recently found out and still are discovering where I am. If you would help spread the word, I'd deeply appreciate it. If you'd tell your friends about Damon Bruce Plus to sign up, subscribe, hit that notify button, hit the like button whenever they're in here. Check out the videos that we've got up that are, I think we're doing solid content over here. I need to get better at editing my videos. There's a lot of all the teasing of YouTube that I still don't understand that pleases the algorithm. I'm a sports guy more than I'm a showman. So I'm just over here just doing sports stuff more than I'm like, hey, let me give you the 5 reasons why you got to believe Christian McCaffrey is the best running back ever. Here's your 5 reasons. Number 5, number 4. It's just, I don't do that. It's just not in me. Oh, Damon, if you did that, you'd have more subscribers. Yeah, but I don't know if I'd be able to look at myself in the mirror with all this baiting nonsense. Let me give you the 3 steps that'll make you the smartest fan in the room. Number 3, number 2, and number 1. Oh, I can't do it. I can't. I'm probably hurting myself because I can't do it. I just can't do it. A lot of great comments, a lot of good people, new names, familiar names. Love it. Absolutely love it. This was a dominant win for the 49ers, 42-10 over the Dallas Cowboys. Again, welcome to Postgame and Damon. Brought to you by Bottom Line Bets. It is wonderful to have you here. Again, the Cowboys had given up 41 points coming into this game. They give up 42 points in this game. They opened with 4 straight 3-and-outs. Pollard never got going. CeeDee Lamb never got going. And one of the reasons why CeeDee Lamb never got going, again, There's enough stuff to talk about where a lot of people aren't going to be talking about Isaiah Oliver tomorrow. Isaiah Oliver was awesome tonight. Isaiah Oliver, who began the year with his head poking out of the Kyle Shanahan doghouse because Isaiah Oliver in the preseason was kind of in that doghouse and it just wasn't looking great for Isaiah Oliver. All of a sudden, Isaiah Oliver is out there playing as good a slot corner as you're going to get. Diamador Lenore did a really good job. The only play that CeeDee Lamb really got off on the Niners tonight was a 29-yard reception, and that came against Mooney Ward. Now, that came against the best corner on the team. CeeDee Lamb's good. 4 catches, 49 yards, kept out of the end zone tonight on 5 targets. That's a great night of defense against CeeDee Lamb. It was a great night of defense against Tony Pollard, who had 8 carries for 29 yards. 19 carries, 57 yards is the entire Dallas Cowboy rushing attack. They became one-dimensional, and in that one dimension, Brock crumbled. Or excuse me, not Brock. Brock doesn't crumble. Dak crumbled. Pardon me. Oh, my God, the heresy. Cowboys had 8 first downs tonight. 8. That's it. 49ers had 25 first downs. 49ers outgained the Cowboys 421 yards to 197 yards. The Cowboys were held under 100 yards in the first half tonight by the 49ers, and it's the first half that they've been sub 100 yards of offense all season long. George Kittle, with his most touchdown-laden game of his career, George Kittle receiving 3 of Brock's 4 touchdown passes tonight. And Fred Warner, in a season where he's essentially been the best defender on the field every game that this team has played his best game of the year tonight. His sack of Prescott was huge early in the second quarter. His interception off the Lenore tip was just a heads-up play, and he's coming from the other side of the field, as Chris Collinsworth pointed out. He's out there running, I wouldn't call it stride for stride because Cooks had a step or two on him, but any other linebacker in the league is getting his doors burnt off by Cooks. You had Warner running with him for 50 yards. It's a good thing that Dak threw that ball out of bounds, but ultimately it wouldn't have mattered. This wasn't a one-score game difference for the Cowboys. Warner had a sack, a forced fumble, and an interception. He's the first 49er to do that in a single game since Navarro Bowman back at the end of the Jim Harbaugh era. 2013-ish Harbaugh era. So Warner was incredible. Greenlaw was incredible. My man Eric Crocker pointed out, he noticed it early. I didn't even notice. He's like, uh-oh, Dallas is in trouble. Kittle's wearing black gloves. He's got the murder gloves on. Eric Crocker called them the murder gloves. Is that like when NBA players show up in closeout games dressed in black? They're going to their funeral. You had you had George Kittle today going with the black hand. El negro de mano, the black hand. A mano de negro? I don't know. I need La Profesora to give us an official grade on that one if she's in here. But man, oh man. Totally dominant. Totally dominant. Other numbers jumping out here. Niners tonight got 6.3 yards per play. Cowboys were at 4. Cowboys held to 140 passing yards, 251 for the 49ers. 170 rushing yards for the 49ers, 57 for the Cowboys. I think this week when Kruger asked me, what's the one thing the Niners need to have to win this game? I said they got to win on the ground. And there is no coach who is more obsessed with winning on the ground each and every day that they play than Kyle Shanahan is obsessed with winning on the ground. And you can only do that if you're a big boy, nasty football team who's out there looking to beat people up. And the 49ers, they play offensive football with a degree of violence that is normally reserved for just being attached to defensive football players. Fred Warner, he's violent. Talanoa Hufanga, he's violent. Dre Greenlaw, he hits so hard, he's so violent. Nick Bosa is so violent. Hargrave plays violently. I don't think anyone on this team plays more violently than Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey is out there running through and up the chest of everyone again. How come he's not taken out in goal line packages? Because this guy's like fucking Mike Allstott. I mean, he just keeps coming. He just keeps coming. We got Shogo McDougal. Look, that's a great name. Shogo McDougal, come on. You had me at McDougal. I don't know what the Shogo is, but Shogo McDougal, you put it all together. I like it. Damon, a super chat fund for a cough button. Yeah, I mean, I think I do have a cough button, but I'm afraid to push it. Again, the fewer buttons I push, the better the broadcast has to be just on its surface. Again, I never wanted to have to produce anything or edit anything or do any. I just wanted to talk into a microphone. That's it. That's all I ever wanted to do. So the fact that I can do any of this is a freaking miracle. Thank God Jillian held my hand at the beginning of this to teach me how to do it. But thanks very much for the five spot Shogo McDougal. What a great name. Nick J saying, oh, dude, Odyssey, treading water, only more time before they cut talent. Dude, that's the way it is for every station. The fact that I got over here, look, the fact that they let me go, I'll never be happy that they did that. I'm never going to be like, oh, thanks for doing me that favor. No, fuck them. But there are more sports talk radio hosts about to join YouTube than there are YouTube hosts looking for jobs on sports talk radio. I'll tell you that. Got Stephen A. Smith being the highest paid guy in the sports industry as a pundit, and he's clearly more interested in his YouTube show than he is his $12 million a year ESPN job. He knows where the future lies. And Damon, please do the Ralph impression.
Well, I mean, all I can tell you is that tonight the 49ers were very, very good. And, I know that a lot of you were Joe people. I was a Steve Young guy myself. I mean, I love Joe. I really did. But when it was time to make the decision and the move, you had to make the move. And I was a Steve guy. I like Steve an awful lot. He's very affable. He was very emotional. He's very forthright. And I liked him an awful lot. And let me tell you, I thank the Sharks for getting me and Tate on the glass. It was wonderful. We had a great time up in Calgary. We really did.
Again, my voice is just shot enough to maybe it's, it's an easier night to do the Ralph than it normally is. Samuel Winchester of the Winchester Mystery House says, Damon, you got that the showman voice down though. Oh, thank you very much. I got to be completely honest with you. I never thought I had a good radio voice. Drew says, Damon, promo code not working. Well, it might have been deactivated. It was for last week. So there you go. We will get everything. I will let Stefan know if there's a problem with the promo code. Keep trying it, but hopefully we'll have a new one for you. And when you're watching Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. right here on the Plus, we'll give you a new promo code hopefully for next week, and it'll all be ironed out, baby. NorCal Niner says the YouTube algorithm, it's a bitch. Here's what I know, and this is what I believe. I don't know anything about computers or algorithms. I'm not going to be able to figure it out. I won't even try to play that game. I'm just going to do good content, and hopefully that is enough to get people to respond. That's it. We're just going to do forthright, honest, practical, for the most part, unoffensive to each other as we're discussing sports to each other. With each other, we're going to talk about. Look at it this way: there's enough kiddie tables serving chicken McNuggets. We're going to be over here at the adult table eating steaks, drinking good wine, and talking about sports like adults. That's my goal. That's my dream. Does that sell anymore? I mean, I see the entire pendulum of the industry totally move to, just a whole bunch of screaming and bullshit really moves the needle. You should just do that. Again, I don't do that. You know what this show, like what I really envision it kind of being? It's a little bit like Last Week Tonight. If you're cool with the guy just monologuing to you, and hopefully it's well prepared enough to keep you involved, that you'll be good with it. I hope you're good with it. I think John Oliver's a funny guy. Damon, your first video with the whiteboard was an instant classic. Oh, thank you. Watched it the other day. The walk-off with the circles of the Blues. So what's funny is my son, Jack, I've seen him circle I've seen him make circles, throw the pen, and yell, "The Plus is all that matters." Like my 4-year-old has done that. So he's doing impressions of me. That's the best. By the way, I did a video that was, I think, my most popular video of the week of Ozzy smashing refillable water balloons on his head. Again, that got more run of videos than content I've done about the San Francisco Giants. So I got to keep, giving Ozzy to the people. The people have spoken. I won't be exploiting my kids. Damon going to show us how to make eggs again. I think it's going to happen at some point, but I'll tell you what, we got neighbors who just had a newborn baby, and whenever there's a new baby on the block, I make a brisket. I just recently did a brisket video, but now we need a second brisket made, so I think there's going to be a longer, because I did a YouTube short brisket series, I think we're going to do a long how to cook a brisket video, produce the shit out of it, and we'll put that up. The amateur backyard griller that I am. Again, Shogo McDougal, been an avid listener since the KNBR game days. Surprised you haven't made the jump to YouTube sooner. Again, I was just old enough to believe radio was all I needed, and all I ever wanted to be was the new modern Ralph Barbieri. I wasn't interested in exploring new wilderness. Remember, I'm too old. I'm the kind of guy who only uses a computer for emails and porn. I Google things, but that's it. Technology and I have never gotten along very well. Here we are. Roach Dog saying, D. Bruce, best Bay Area sports channel. Krug 2, thank you. And look, you put the both of us together, you got a monster. And I'm going to tell you that tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., Larry Krueger and I are going to have more people watching our simulcast of 49ers Wake Up starting at 8 a.m. than KNBR, the flagship of the 49ers, and 95.7 The Game will have combined. Larry and I are bigger than these radio stations. We figured that out. We've got the data points returning. I tell you, sports is about an accumulation of data points. Here's the data points. There are more people listening to me and Larry on YouTube than there are either of these radio stations. They fucked up. Rockin' New Air 84 says, look, a Kershaw loss and a Cowboy loss, that makes this a great weekend. And you had the Blue Angels, you had Fleet Week. It was a great weekend. A great weekend. It really was. Saying Oliver got smoked on one, though. Well, look, that's a thing. You know, the cornerbacks lose battles. Go on to the next play. You got to go on to the next play. Every cornerback gets burnt. You know, I know that, you probably grew up just watching the Deion Sanders highlight tape and you think, oh, yeah, no, he never gave up a big play. Deion got cooked. Not often, but it happened. You can't play cornerback in this league and not give up big plays. It's going to happen. The entire rule book is tailored to make sure your job is harder than the offense's job. So, did he get cooked on one play? Sure. No big deal. You look at the entirety of the game. The Niners whooped the Cowboys' ass. Whooped it. Excuse me, I got the spilkus. Ah. All right. What do we got? Got Stacy Leo, Michelle Haberman. We got a lot of regulars in here. Love that you're in here. Thank you very much. I was looking forward to coming in all day long. I was chomping at the bit. Like I like a primetime game, but I also don't like waiting all day around to do this. I want to get it going. I want to go. I want to broadcast. I almost thought about going earlier than the 2-minute warning, but even that is aggressive enough. To start a post-game show in a game, like that's enough. You know, I could have started this one at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Absolutely could have started at the beginning of the fourth quarter. The murder gloves. Yeah, again, Bosa repping the OJ gloves. Tonight when he got a sack and he did his, hey, what, just me, his celebration. Nelson, Damon, Mano Negra. Thank you very much. La Mano Negra. There it is. Confirmed. Look, this team tonight had 3 main tasks. Shut down Micah Parsons. Don't let him have a gaudy, oh my God game. They did that. Make sure CeeDee Lamb doesn't go off on you. They did that. And you keep Tony Pollard in check. What's Dak going to do? All 3 of those things happen. And what Dak did was implode, throwing 3 interceptions in his last, 5 passes of the night? I mean, it didn't start well for Dak, and it got worse as the night went along. I really thought that they might put Trey Lance in. It was one of those games where you shouldn't even expose Cooper Rush to getting hurt. Like there was a lot of meaningless football played at the end of this game. They should have thrown Trey Lance in there, or was he the emergency quarterback and couldn't play unless they had an injury? I don't know. But there he was on the sideline. Hey, good luck, kid. No 49er fan should ever be angry at Trey Lance. He didn't draft himself here. Kyle Shanahan made that mistake. John Lynch made that mistake. It's correct and accurate to describe that as a mistake. But it's a mistake that didn't set this franchise back a lick because those first picks, all the picks that they traded have not come back to haunt you. And Brock Purdy is the real deal. The absolute real deal. There is a video out there that I just so encourage you to look up. There is a guy who had a cup of coffee in the NFL. He started one game for the Green Bay Packers, and he bounced around on several practice squads over a handful of seasons, the 49ers practice squad being one of them. Kurt Benkert. It's the guy's name. You can follow him on Twitter. He's got a video where he breaks down Christian McCaffrey without talking about a single pass thrown. All he does is look at the feet. Christian McCaffrey is a human clinic of perfect quarterbacking footwork. Again, these are things I think I recognize, but until someone who's played at this level, who's been coached at this level, you can't pretend to know what a former player knows. And honestly, when it comes to the concept of being coached through fundamentals, who could there be to talk about that better than an on the edge of the league football player like Kurt Benkert was, where I'm sure he had coaches riding him after every single film session because he was not great. So here's what you got to do to get better. Here's your coaching moment. You got to quiet your feet. You got to get rid of these double hitches. You just got to hit that third, fourth, fifth drop, 7-step drop, hitch, go. It's film study that only pros can really get into sharing. And Kurt Benkert breaks down Brock Purdy from a footwork standpoint that is fascinating. I retweeted it yesterday. I actually reached out to Kurt. I hope to hear back from him. I DM'd the guy, but I'd love to get him on the show. I'd love to talk to him about this stuff because he knows, he sat in the room with Kyle. He knows what Kyle wants, and he sees what Brock does for Kyle that Kyle covets. He processes everything so quickly. Again, this isn't me telling you this. This is someone who played in this league, who was coach hard in this league, who knows attention to detail. Again, you know who would be terrible to tell you about fundamentals and attention to detail? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is such an absolute wunderkind that he doesn't have to have any element of fundamental play about him. He just goes out and he lets it rip in a way that is historically awesome. It's the reason why Michael Jordan was never meant to be a coach or a mentor to any player because, Michael can tell you what you should do, but you can't go out and do it like that guy did. Play more like Michael. Good luck with that. It's hard for greatness to explain the concepts of hard coaching because great, just ridiculously talented players don't need that level of hard coaching that Brock Purdy has received and has just processed. Every single thing that Kyle could expect or want of his quarterback, Brock Purdy has given to him. No wonder why Kyle's in love with this guy. There is no such thing as the perfect quarterback. So how good do you fit? Brock Purdy fits almost perfectly. So there you go. The nonsense about him being a system quarterback. Every quarterback's in a system. There's not an amount of talent in the NFL that operates devoid of system. So everyone's in a system. Do you need to see a player have success in two systems before you want to respect that player? Brock was drafted into a situation and a starting point where expecting him to be successful in any system was a ridiculous ask. How could a player that you had no expectations for just be plopped into a system and succeed? It obviously isn't just the system. So you then start to have to conclude, this guy's pretty damn good. He's really damn good, as a matter of fact. San Bruno Mike, you got Christian McCaffrey running through linemen at the goal line. He is for real. Dude, he's running up dudes' chests. He moves piles. That's why Kyle doesn't want to take him out of the damn game when it gets down to smacking around time. That guy smacks. Another maximum football request. You got it. Welcome to Postgame and Damon, brought to you by Bottom Line Bets. We're about 90 minutes into tonight's show. Thank you for being a part of this. Go to bottomlinebets.com if you want to start getting winners from the hottest handicapper in Las Vegas. Promo code Damon delivered free winners for a day of free plays last week. 4-1 today was my man Stefan. I'm going to tell you, it's tempting to say, well, I'm going to hold this day of free play until football because everyone loves betting football. My man is on fire when it comes to baseball as well. He knows Major League Baseball and playoff baseball, and he finds angles that other handicappers don't find. Tonight, he got paid in this 49er game based off the 49er team total. He didn't play with the spread. He didn't play with the over-under. He played with the Niner team total. Easy win for him. That sucker was in the barn third quarter. So check out my man Stefan at bottomlinebets.com. And the next time I give you a promo code for a free day of play, sign up. That's how you support me. It's how you support the show. Leave a super chat. Be good to my sponsors. In another place, I'd love you to make me look good again. There's not even money changing hands over here, but this is something that I know you're going to like, and I want to give you reasons to come here. Now, this isn't about just me getting the deal. I want to share the deal with you. There is a t-shirt store in San Francisco called Jack's. It's on Chestnut Street. Go to Jack's on Chestnut Street. If you're in the city, go this week. You're going to be blown away by the vintage t-shirts. Some t-shirts are totally exclusive to Jack's. You will be blown away. This t-shirt right here, the San Francisco Clippers, San Francisco's first professional football team to play at Kezar. You got to check out the collection of all the vintage shirts that they have. JacksSF.com. That's two S's. JACKS. SF.com. Use promo code DamonBruce10 for 10% off your t-shirt order. And you're going to want more than one of these t-shirts, and you're going to want to give these t-shirts away as Christmas gifts. Order now. Use promo code DamonBruce10. And Jack will keep giving me free t-shirts. And I can keep looking good here on Postgame and Damon and the Damon Bruce Show on the Plus that happens Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. And I do hope you join Larry Krueger and I tomorrow morning, Monday morning, 8 a.m. The simulcast is happening. It is 49ers Wake Up, brought to you by Acai Bowls, which, by the way, I've got one upstairs. I'm going to show you how absolutely gorgeous it is. They're delicious and they're good for you. Who would have ever thought that I would be sponsored by something nutritious, but it's happening. You want something delicious? An acai bowl. You want to make money? Bottomlinebets.com. You want cool t-shirts? Go to jackssf.com. Use promo code DamonBruce10. Get 10% off. We're going to have an acai bowl discount Monday morning for you on 49ers Wake Up. Damon Bruce, Larry Krueger, taking over the world, one subscriber at a time. Drew says, radio guys left and right getting laid off here in Denver. Again, it's a dead industry. It's not dying. It's basically dead at this point. Our commuting habits have changed. The world has changed. People don't listen to the radio anymore. They want content that they can dial up when it's convenient to them. That's the cool thing about being on YouTube. And that's the piece of reaction that people give me more often than not. Damon, I can listen to you whenever I want now. I don't have to catch you on the radio. You're there. By the way, download that podcast. My podcast has been downloaded over 100,000 times. We just started this thing in April. So I'm where you need me when it's convenient for you. You don't have to juggle your schedule around my radio broadcast hours. This makes it convenient for you. And that's what I think is cool about this. And I do know that one of the biggest reasons why commercial radio is failing is because nobody listens to commercials anymore. There's no bang for your buck on advertising with radio anymore. There just isn't. There isn't. If you are not concentrating everything you're doing in media into a digital space right now, you're going to go extinct. These radio stations got caught watching the paint dry on an old business model while the whole world was marching in a new direction. Nelson makes it real easy. My phone don't have a radio. No, your phone don't have a radio. And radio doesn't even have sports phone anymore, so shame on them. Jack says, yes, yes, yes. I love you, Damon. I love you, Jack. Thank you very much. Right back at you, man. McDougal. Damon, I loved Ralph. Never get tired of that impression. I loved Ralph too. I loved Ralph, man. He was fantastic at what he did. He was unafraid in an industry that's got more cowards in it than you would think. Damon, I remembered about YouTube. Stoked to hear you over here. That gets a maximum football. I'm glad you're here too. Damon, what's that Jack's code again? JacksSF.com, promo code DamonBruce10. DamonBruce10. Again, let them see how much business I am sending their way. And they're going to give me free t-shirts. Yay for me. And yay for you. You're going to get an awesome t-shirt out of it. Damon, you're a very good-looking man. I know. Glad you figured it out. No, thank you. Thank you very much. Michael, give me a call, baby. Dylan saying, this is what I need after spending the last hour listening to Dallas local radio. I'm in the zone right now. No, this is what you need. I'm glad you're here. Dude, Dallas radio's got to be on fire tonight all morning long. They're going to be pissed off. And it's right to be pissed off because what you thought the Dallas Cowboys were got a little exposed. Again, this was a statement game for the Niners. Not only did the Niners look good, and that's a statement, the Cowboys, if we're talking about who the three best teams are in the NFC right now, it's the 49ers, it's the Eagles, and it's the Detroit Lions. That's your three-team power ranking in the NFC right now. Lions look good. Damon, what's your opinion on your Bears? Fire Ryan Poles. The Claypool thing is like a bridge too far for me. Justin Fields played a couple of decent games. I don't know. I don't want to give up on a player that young, that highly drafted, but I don't know. It's a dumpster fire. Shame on everyone involved. Niners are playing so hot, Taylor Swift might start showing up to watch this shit, okay? Steve says, John Oliver is first smart, then funny. Hey, I hope we're, informative with consistent sports talk. That's what I want to be. I want to be consistent in the way I present sports to you. And if we have some fun along the way, everybody wins. That's my goal. Damon, that brisket was gold. Hell yeah, it was. Oh, VIP, he's going to Austin this week. He's getting ready. Getting ready for that Austin brisket. Yeah, you'll be happy. You will be happy. The Gordon Ramsay way of scrambling eggs is the way. Yeah, I know. So we have here Michael who's saying, Damon, please tell your subscribers to please vote for equal rights for gays. Look at it this way. If you if you have a problem with gay people, get the fuck off my channel. Don't ever come back and go fuck yourself. Okay? Have I made myself clear? I have gay people in my family that I love very, very much. Go fuck yourself. Unless you're sincere about it, but I don't think you are, Michael. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to block you on YouTube and we're never going to hear from you again. Piss off. Damon, your brisket had me salivating. Yeah, dude, it was good. It was really, really good. Yeah, you want to know what really killed radio? I do think it was the Cars for Kids sponsorship. That's just the most automatic turn that shit off of all time, right? I mean, that jingle is the worst thing that ever happened. I mean, good for them. It's memorable, but it does make me want to jump off a bridge. Grateful Red 72. Damon, that was a dark star performance by the 49. Dude, that was Help Slip Frank. I mean, that was the most soulful Althea you've ever heard. Thank you very much, Grateful Red. That 5 bones goes into the ganja jar. SF Damon Brisket versus Texas Brisket. I want to see that. No, I don't want to do that. I'm a backyard amateur. They're pros down in Texas. Give them their full respect. They got beefy barbecue done better than everyone. Nick J. Putting it in the ganja jar. Thank you very much. Shanahan schemed to take Parsons out of that game. Great job. The O-line did a great job setting the pace. Kyle has got this team on a mission. He dropped a Donskoy on me. Donskoy! Sure, I'll give you one back. Hockey coming soon, right? Hockey's coming soon. God, we had Chris Paul and the Warriors playing this weekend. Basketball's going to be here soon. We're going to have to do some post-game and Damon for some Warriors games. This was a dominant evening for the 49ers. What bullshit will they be making up next to try to complain about this team? I have a little thing, as I'm writing down all my notes from the game, I start with some segments that, here are the opening statements I'm going to make. Here is the opening drive and how it went down. Here's the biggest play of the game. Here's what I did not like. Are you ready? Here is the list of things that the Niners did that I didn't like tonight. Number 1, the draw play to Christian McCaffrey that took the offense out of field goal range in the first quarter. I didn't like that. That's it. That's the list. That's the list. I didn't like the draw play to McCaffrey that got buried and took the 49ers out of field goal range. That's my complaint. The subsequent punt and all special teams play tonight was outstanding. There you go. One play. Didn't like one play. That's it. It's the only thing. That's the one. I bet you that's the one call that Kyle would even like back. Purdy could have been better than he was actually statistically in this game, but he had some wide receivers dropping some passes, a few balls delivered, looked like they bounced off chests, hands, shoulder pads. There should have been a few more catches out there for Brock Purdy, who could have easily been 20 of 24 a week after going 20 of 21. He's just playing the perfect football for Kyle Shanahan and this team's needs. Mike Bruno's right. Damon, the black hand reminds me of the movie Godfather 2. Exactly. The 49ers handled their business Don Corleone style. Yeah, Kurt Bankert, forever Niner. Well, I don't know about that, but, he's good. I like Kurt. I like his vibe. I like him. I like his family. He's, an incredibly normal person. It's like, imagine if a normal person was good enough to be in the NFL. That's what Kurt Bankert is. He's just a normal guy who was good enough to be on the edge of playing in this league. He got one start for the Packers, bounced around a whole bunch of practice squads, and guys like that, no coaching, have had so much coaching drilled into them that, again, they can report more on what I think they're seeing than a guy like Patrick Mahomes even can, because it just comes so naturally to Mahomes. How about a guy that had to be coached through all of it? He understands what coaches are looking for. Quiet feet, happy feet. He said that Brock Purdy is essentially a human highlight reel of quarterbacking fundamentals. Can you link the video, Damon? I'm telling you right now, it's on if you go through my Twitter, just scroll back a little bit and you'll see me giving the video an awful lot of love. I quote tweeted it. And I know it's not called Twitter anymore. But I'm not going to call that shit X. I'm just not going to do it. And I hear a lot of people saying that, when the website X is referenced, you can now stop saying website formerly known as Twitter. No, don't stop. That's going to piss off Elon so much. Like, I hope 50 years from now, when they're talking about a story on X, if X is even still around, that they're like a website formerly known as Twitter. I want that to haunt. I want that to haunt X for X's entire career. I went to the Blue Angels today. It completely sucked. Well, Brian, what sucked about it? You should have gone yesterday when it was freaking gorgeous out down there. The only thing that sucks about Fleet Week is the parking in downtown and Marina E, San Francisco. That sucks. Everything else about Fleet Week, I freaking love it. I wish I had felt a little bit better. I would have gone out there. But again, I've been battling Spilkis and a whole bunch of all week. So look, Larry, I've had Ike sandwiches that lasted longer than the Cowboys did today. The Cowboys showed you their first. We might be giving up on this one, walking into the locker room at the end of the first half. It's third down. You got about 20 ticks left. You can make a play. You can try to get in the field goal range. You could try for something even bigger than that. But nope, they're like, we're good. We're good. We're just going to go talk about it for a while. We're going to have everyone go inside, call your mom if you need to, have a Gatorade, have an orange slice, and we'll go get them in the third quarter. You knew the Cowboys were in a little bit of trouble right there. I did, as I said earlier, I thought that the big turning point in this game, outside of Fred Warner causing that early fumble, and Fred Warner was just awesome on Sunday Night Football. I thought the turning point in this game is when the Cowboys really knew that they were cooked, is when Purdy threw a great ball to Brandon Ayuk that got called back on a Spencer Burford holding. So it eliminated a 41-yard gain right at the moment in time. It's like, okay, so if the 49ers go down and score here, Dallas is not coming back in this game. So it was a game that absolutely, it was a play that broke Dallas's way. This huge gain was not meant to be because of the holding. Very next play, an even longer play, 43 yards to Debo. And that's when Dallas was just like, they had to have been like, are you serious? Like we just gave up a 41-yard play, had the benefit of it getting called back, and the very next snap we give up a 43-yard play. That's when I think Dallas just knew this is over. We can't compete with these guys. We're getting our asses kicked. Brian says, the reason I'm watching you right now is not because I like you. It's actually the opposite. He's calling me Damien. Well, how dare you, sir? Look, I don't care why you're here. I'm just very happy that you're here. Love me, hate me, does not matter. Just watch and subscribe and like and super chat and support my sponsors and be nice in the chat. Just be cool. Damon, whenever I hear Maximum Football, I think of Ray Ratto cringing. Oh, Ray hated it. Will Ray be appearing on the Plus? Look at it this way. I just sent Ray a text about it the other day. I haven't heard back from Ray. I don't know. Maybe he's on vacation. Maybe not hearing back from him is all I need to know. That's the thing. I don't want to do it over Zoom. I don't want to do it like me in a box, Ray in a box. I want Ray sitting right here next to me. So I keep on saying, Ray, come on over to the house. Come on over. I'll buy you lunch when the show's over. But come on over. Let's have some fun. I haven't heard back. So I don't know. Yeah, Iowa State had a really good system with Purdy, but not much since then. No, not much at all. Not much at all. So maybe that guy's good. I mean, maybe, here's the thing. Maybe it's officially time to just admit Brock Purdy's really, really good at this. Officially good at this. Sky saying, Damon, let's all band together to keep Damon's shirt on. Yeah, absolutely. Keep Damon in t-shirts. Look at this great t-shirt. Go to jaxsf.com, promo code DamonBruce10. And my man Stefan at Bottom Line Bets one more time wants me to let you know, if you haven't signed up, especially on a day where I'm giving you a day of free picks, it's on you now. I mean, I can't help you anymore. If you're not going to take my advice and check this out, go to bottomlinebets.com. We'll have a new promo code for you next week. The one Damon, it might have been shut off by now, but we'll have a new one for you next week if I can get it out of Stefan. And next time I give you this free promo code, use it. Use it. He was 4-1 today. He's 4-1 every day if he's not 5-0. It's ridiculous. It's like mathematically impossible to be this good at it. He's this good at it. Check it out. Rich Alexander, $10 worth of jingle jangle. Thank you very much, Rich. Appreciate that. Damon, agree with most of what you say, but losing those draft picks for Trey Lance did cost us. Getting Parsons or a right tackle could have won us a Super. Stop it. Fucking stop it. Stop it. Drafting is an inexact science. They swung, they missed. Who says that they would have picked those players that you're assuming they would have picked in other drafts? It sucks that it happened. The good news is Brock Purdy means you don't need to worry about that shit. Stop it. Stop it. And picks are gone. They're not coming back, and it doesn't matter. The 49ers win every time I look up. The 49ers, during the time that you're talking about losing those picks, have a 15-game regular season winning streak. Stop it. And thank you very much, Rich. Thank you very, very much. All right. So what I got to do is get myself to bed in a reasonable hour, because we're back at it at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, kids. 8 a.m. It is 49ers Wake Up simulcast on the Krug channel and right here. Now, Larry's got thousands more followers and views than I get, so watch over here on the Plus, get these numbers up, get the subscribe. How many subscribers we got here? How many we earned tonight? Hey, we've gone over 8,200 subscribers. We're at 8,233 tonight. That's a real nice big number. Let's get to 250. Let's get to 250. I need what do I need here? I need essentially 17 more people to hit that subscribe button right now, and I'll be at 8,250 subscribers. But more importantly than subscribers is you watching. So check out the videos, check out some of the things that we've done, and hopefully you dig it. Hopefully you're along for the ride, because we're just getting started here, and I cannot wait to see what this looks like 2-3 years from now. Look out. Your boy's coming in a whole new medium. And I get to do what I want to do with no one lording over me. There's not a single person telling me, don't say this, don't say that, that subject's too spicy, don't talk that way, don't act like that. I talked to Jillian. She's not going to be letting me go anytime soon. I am unfireable over here on the Plus. I'm going to have to cancel myself. And, I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. What happened? Well, the Blue Angels ended 20 minutes earlier today. Fog over the water put the kibosh on a lot of their maneuvers. Well, yesterday, Saturday, when it was one of the clearest, most gorgeous days I've ever seen in the city of San Francisco. By the way, you could tell that NBC got all of their San Francisco money shots from either Friday or Saturday, because today was a little foggy and gray. Yeah. Got to go to the air show on days that's gorgeous. We got here, RIP Cougar Rebel. Dak is such a fraud. Here's the thing. He's not a fraud. Dak Prescott's not a fraud. He's a pretty good quarterback. The Niners just make him look terrible. The Niners make a lot of teams look terrible. They really do. They are so good. And that's where we're leaving you tonight, man. That's where we're leaving you tonight. The Niners are good. How good? So good. They're so good. They're so good that they could be Super Bowl champions. There are still 12 games to play. Let's not even talk about that. There's no time to be talking about playoffs. There's no time to be looking down the road at the postseason. Just staying focused. Staying focused got them a win over Arizona. I think the Cowboys were a little banged up front in that game and maybe a little unfocused, and that's why they stumbled. I'm sure the Cowboys were very, very focused on this game, but clearly there's no level of focus that closed the gap in talent and ability and coaching and execution between these two teams. The 49ers are a nightmare for the Cowboys. They kick their ass every single time I look up. At least tonight we didn't get the weirdest looking gimmick play of all time to end the game. Rich Alexander says in the Jingle Jangle, you stop. They mattered. I'll see you tomorrow at 8. Look, Rich, they don't. They don't matter anymore. They might have at the time, but they don't anymore. So quit crying over spilt milk. The shit is done. You might as well be talking about the sandwich that you didn't eat yesterday. No one cares. No one wants to hear about the sandwich that you didn't even eat. You haven't died. You aren't starving. It didn't really matter. If the Niners had spent all of those picks to invest in their future quarterback and didn't have a future quarterback, that would hurt. But they've got their quarterback of the present and the future. It just happens to not be that guy. Again, you can blow a first-round pick of that magnitude if you make the single greatest selection of all time in the final pick of the draft. And that right now looks like what Brock Purdy is through 10 games into his career. So wake up tomorrow with Damon and Larry. I really hope to see you there. My man Ike, would people that are upset about all those picks still be upset if they made the same trade but took Purdy number 3? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. To me, that's the thing. Basically, you basically sound like someone who thinks that, well, you lied to me. You told me the trade was going to be this good, and you lied to me. Yeah, it wasn't as good as I hoped. I wanted him to be better. I wanted to love him. I bought his jersey. Don't buy a jersey until 2-3 years into a guy's career and you know who he is. You amateurs. Damon, I love you. I love you. Ivan Clavo Perez. Smash that sub button. Early line on a sip of the day tomorrow. I don't know what that sip of the day is going to look like. It's going to come. There's going to be many. Here's the thing. I don't even know if I'll have coffee by the time I hop on my own show. Again, 49ers wake up at 8 a.m. Larry and I are going to go long. This was a big one after a Cowboys game. I'm doing my show at 11 a.m. It'll be good. I'll probably be cooked, but it'll be good. Look at Jillian. She's upstairs. Diehard Niner fan. doing backflips over this one. She's very, very happy. I heard the boys rooting. I heard some yelling upstairs when Kittle was in the end zone 3 different times tonight. So there you go. Thank you very, very much for supporting me, my family, what I do. It's great to have you here. It really, really is. This was a 49er game that was impressive. Absolutely impressive all the way around. They outplayed the Dallas Cowboys in 4 quarters. In every quarter, they just whooped their ass. And there are some teams where you whoop their ass and then, there's going to be they weren't that good to begin with. It's just the New York Giants. It's just the Patriots. It's just the Jets. Doesn't matter. You whoop their ass. Who cares? Who cares? The Cowboys are good. Cowboys are a good football team. Full stop. The Niners made them look like they weren't. That's how good they are. I want to see what Nick Wright has to say now, Daniel Rodriguez. Again, Mr. I guarantee you the Warriors will never win another championship has been wrong about things in the past. Maybe he'll admit to being wrong about this one too. Johnny Dunn says, good evening, Damon. My dad and I got to watch the Cowboys suffer, and I'm just so sick of Dak. Saw him smiling after the picks. It's not a good look. That's a nervous smile. He wasn't happy. Again, Dak wasn't good, but it's not that he stinks, okay? It's not that he stinks. It's just them 49ers make him look bad. Some guys are bad matchups against certain teams. Some guys are good matchups against good teams. I don't know what it is, man, but the Niners, they got the Cowboys number up and down the block. Up and down the block. They got him. Now, I don't know what's going on, if this is true or not, but since I'm tuning in from Tel Aviv, I wish I could have watched the game. Well, if you truly are in Tel Aviv, stay safe. God bless. There are 2 wars in the world right now. That's not good for ball. 2 wars in the world. That's terrible. So, what we're going to do is ask everyone to be good to each other on the way out the door tonight. Be good to each other. Be nice to each other. Love each other. I see you guys. You're, for the very most part, an awesome group together on the chat. Y'all get along very, very nice. I don't have to come and separate you like an adult. Thank you so much for being here tonight to enjoy this, to support this. It means an awful lot. Again, hit that subscribe button, notify, like this bad boy, and it will go an awful long way to making sure that this continues to grow. And I need this to grow, and it's going to grow, and it's all happening, baby. I thank you very, very much. Join me and Larry Krueger tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Monday morning. It's 49ers Wake Up. The Damon Bruce Show starts Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. West Coast time, 2 o'clock East Coast time. And we are working on a few interesting things, I think, this week. Tim Kawakami, I believe, is going to be joining me at one point in time this week. So we're going to have some really good stuff. I'm excited. The Warriors are around the corner. Let me be some post-game and Damon for some Warriors games this year. But, you like gambling, you like T-shirts, you like sandwiches, you like smart sports talk. I hope you found a new channel that you like very, very much. The 49ers whooped the Cowboys' asses tonight, 42-10. If Larry's still going, I'm going to jump on over on his channel for just a little bit to kind of wrap up with him. I know he's got to get home again. We got an early morning tomorrow, but I'm going to hop on with Larry for a minute. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. Thanks again to my sponsor, bottomlinebets.com. Next time I give you a promo code to sign up, make sure you do that. And I'm going to let you know that you don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.